I'm just sitting out here catching a breeze because I was like, shoot, nobody's gonna be on the live like that right now, anyways. So it's just gonna be technically a recording, but I'm still gonna record it, you know. So I'm here, and then we're gonna do the DIY and get it done. I know you guys been waiting on that dress, so we're gonna do that dress definitely, and we're gonna do it in normal size and plus size. Hello. Saying hi to myself. Well, I figure a good place to start would be me catching up with you guys. So, I got a lot going on. Man, this waist trainer right here is just bending, but I don't even care. Anyways. Yeah, so. Oh, excuse me. My eyes start to water sometimes from being out here. But I love it. Because I was just taking all the nature in. I usually do this before I sew anyways. So, and I knew that, you know, the live wasn't going to be popping like that because I'm not always live. This is like really my first time going live and recording it and keeping it up. So, I had to figure out a way I could, squeeze you guys in and be consistent at the same time. So, so we're gonna be making this dress. You're just gonna need about a half a yard of fabric. All depends on how big you are, or how big whatever. Just take the fabric and stretch it around you. We're gonna get in there. I'm gonna show you how to do it. We're gonna go in 2 seconds. I got my fro tied up because I really don't do a lot in my hair. I just wear it natural, So. And then when I'm tired of wearing it down, I tie it up like this. Because I've been busy and I've been trying to organize everything at the same time. And I'm going to be redecorating my store. So I got a lot of stuff going on. You guys will find out I love sunflower seeds. I live off of sunflower seeds. Look, I'm like, I really do. I don't hate nothing about them. I love them so much. That's how much I love sunflower seeds. Oh, hello. Sitting out here chilling right now because I was waiting You gonna sew. Y'all gonna learn something today. You gonna learn today, definitely. Oh yeah, with me? Yeah. I'll show you how to make 1,000 out of one. I love sunflower seeds. I'm guilty. I love them. I think I love them more than anybody loves them on the earth besides a baseball player. I live off of seasoned flowers, I call them. Because they're like a taco. This is real vegan food. And it tastes just like tacos. And you got sunflower seeds in the middle, that's fine. We about to sow. After I eat you some more seeds, we're gonna sow. Getting ready to go. Yeah, so besides that, I just been working on a lot. I'm going to be doing skincare and cosmetics and all types of stuff. So much going on. Hello. We're getting ready to go inside too, so. I just love sunflower seeds. And the birds. Because I'm inside sewing all day, so usually before I lock myself in there, literally, it's 12:22. Usually right now, I'll be out here just chilling for a second. I already know when I go in there, I ain't coming out. But we finna go in there. I got a lot going on. But we gonna be doing this today. It's not gonna necessarily. I'm gonna show you guys how to. Okay. Let me get this shit. Say for no kids anyway, because I'm talking. Little Anthony, honey, fix that backdrop back there, please. The one that's behind that curtain. Thank you, love. That's my oldest. Mama. Okay. Now, yeah, I almost tore the printer off his ass. Okay, so now we're gonna do this right here, but I'm gonna show you guys how to do this. You know, you can do it in any fabric. Sometimes I notice that not everybody thinks as far as this thing can go. They see this and they think they need this, like this sheer, this. You don't. You just need fabric. You can do this even with a white t-shirt. Who cares? That's how easy this is. Because what this basically is I already had to cut out right here. And I already put it together on one. And then because I'm making two of them. Because this is in my store now. Anyways, all it is a rectangle. Let me back up. All it is a rectangle. See that? A rectangle. There's nothing fancy to it. Two triangles. This is a plus size one. Two triangles. Sew them to the outer edge. Right here. That way you can't go wrong if you don't know how to center anything. You don't have to worry about centering it if you put it right here. On the edge of the rectangle. Just like that. Then fold the two in half. Put it together. It's real easy. It's a lot easier than what people think. You know, I think people put too much thought into it because it's pretty intimidating because it looks like this. So it's like, oh my God, I wonder what that took. But it took nothing. It takes absolutely nothing. My serger broke, so the timing is off of my serger. But I'm going to do this with my machine, so we're going to do this real fast. It's that easy. See that? Sew it right down the middle. And when you sew it right down the middle, this is what it looks like. The reason why it has body and shape on it is because this stretches. So what you want to do is the fabric that you use, you want to make sure it stretches. So with this one right here, do the fact it stretches. You want to cut it small. So this could fit like a medium, large. I have one already made over here. They got a whole bunch of cute ones. And see, this is what I did with it. You know, I got so many of them. See, this is a plus size one. Now you see how it's just a rectangle, no body on it, but it stretches. So watch this. I'm gonna put this on my body. And so you'll take it, and this stretches. This stretch is pretty big too. I make sure here the stretch is pretty big. So, but it fits comfortable on any girl my size or bigger. So anybody can fit it, because that's how I make this stuff. Yeah, this is cute. Ah, body, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, you definitely got that coming for me. Me and her, we have the same exact birthday, but I don't have a personality like that. There we go. And see how it fits all the way around. See how it fits? It fits all the way around. It's not baggy. And then when I put the trim on, I put the trim on tight so it'll hug, you know. So that's what you want to do. You're going to put this on. Ah, ah, ah. And that goes like that, or there we go. Hey, body, yada, 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 yada. And that's how that joint look. Ain't that cute? See how that fits? It fits cute. This bow right here go on the shirt, though. I mean, not the shirt, my dress, because I make my own clothes, too. So the dress you see, I made that, too. I'm like, fashion who? I don't know nobody. I don't know nobody named nobody. Nothing personal. Just that you know I can make my own shit. Oh, yeah, so there we go. Hey, see? Big, little, big. See that? So this is just a larger rectangle. Larger triangles and a larger rectangle. But make sure the fabric stretches. Because see, this another girl can get in this too if she wants to. And that way when you have girls come to your shop and when girls buy your stuff, you know, they don't walk out disappointed because I can't fit anything. And I hate to see girls like that, you know. It's heartbreaking. I was like, oh, she couldn't. I hate when people come to the store and they really want to buy something, you know, and it's like, I can't fit anything in here. But they had their heart on, you know, buying something from there. So, yeah, so that's how this dress goes. So I'm going to finish this joker. Well, we're going to finish the one, that blue one, wherever it is. I don't know what I did with it just that fast. Where'd it go? I don't know. We're going to figure it out, though. But that's... So that's how that goes. Now, then, I'm going to show you guys how to make these right here. The little one pieces. I got it with a long torso because some girls have a long torso. And this looks tight, but it's actually not tight. I just make it to where it is tight. Where it looks tight. But it's not tight. But it just looked little because I make it to fit. Not to where, you know, so that's cute. And this is the same thing. But what I did was to this, like, you would take this right here and right where the crotch is, just cut 2 triangles out the side, and then you'll have that. So that's the same exact pattern. And then, boop, boop, sew the crotch. I keep the torso long because some girls have long torsos, some don't. And this is fishnet, and then when it stretches, like this would be a petite. So when it stretches about that big. Yeah. So this for little girls, for little. This is somebody that's tiny. For my tiny girls, 'cause some girls come in here and they tiny, they little. And then we have plus size. That photo tag. Oh, when you're like, so yeah. Then we got the plus size one also, which would be just like the one I have on. And what you would do is cut out the two sides. Bow, keep this one little area right here, about that big, right here. Cut it out. Bow, and then trim it. Yeah. And then now you take this from this to bodysuit. Look at me. I'm gonna take this off though. And then I'm gonna show you guys how to make this one later too. This one right here. Everybody loves this thing. And it's so cute. So, I have more than that because it goes on and on and on. Because I'm gonna show you guys how to do these too. And then we're gonna get into finishing this because this video gonna be so fast. What I do? Am I out of plan already? They didn't ate them up, huh? Oh, well, this one. I got extras to facilitate. I have no more garter belts. I made some garter belts. Oh, I got one. What I got? Because I made, okay, there we go. Because I was gonna show you guys how to make these too. Sure, they ate me out of house alone with these. I gotta hate this one just hanging there. That happens. And I'm gonna show you guys how to make these too. How to do this apparatus right here. How to do the looping and all the shit. Because I do everything. So, show you guys how to do that. So let me come about this. And see, it's nice and easy, comfortable. It ain't gonna rip, tear. I ain't even gotta untie them. Oops, I ain't even gotta untie the neck. I don't want to be cussing like that, because you know. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Put it back on the hanger. There it goes. Vacuum and hold on. This one here is the same thing. Two triangles and a rectangle, but instead of using one rectangle, we use two. And what makes this easy is just make sure your top touches each end. So you can't fail with centering the bikini top onto the dress. And then just seam it right down the side, because this one's cute. It's all pink in the front, and the back is out. So adorable. And then this one right here, same thing, but this one has, we take the rectangle and do it's just two rectangles. That is it. And then I'm gonna show you guys how to do a hem like this. Even with your sewing machine, I can show you how to do a hem like this. This is a hem, this is not trim. So it doesn't, I'm gonna show you guys how to get around that. See, that looks just like trim. And I'm gonna show you guys how to do a trim without actually having to do all this fold over and stuff like that. I'm gonna show you how to do that too. But, because I do all that, and this FOE, this is FOE, which is fold over elastic also. So, and then we have another one here, which is just the reverse, same thing, but two triangles, and then a trim around the edge, and then the hem, I just hemmed it down there. And then we're back to this one. But this has the one rectangle sewn down the center, or you could turn the same rectangle in half like this, you know, and then cut the other half, and then take two pieces and put them together like this. Like that. This is cute. That's cute. Look. I'm stealing out of my own store. I'm stealing. Steal the thief. Put it back down. That's so cute. How much is it? Oh, this is my own heart. Oh my God, I like it so much. This one is dressed after my own heart. The little nightgown dress, bikini, you know, put over your bathing suit, whatever you want to do. So now we're going to get into finishing this one right here. And do I have? Okay. So we're going to finish it with FOE around the edge. So I'm going to show you guys how to use FOE today. How did? Okay, I'm like, shoot. Now, woman, you ought to know better here. Okay, so we got plus size. Now, see, this is the plus size because it stretches. Okay, so we're going to get into that right now. I'm going to walk you all the way through this joint. We're going to take a walk all the way through this. So now, first thing you want to do is, I got the fabric. This is just a regular rectangle right here. This would be a plus size. See how big this one is? This is plus size. Plus size, you would use a yard of fabric. 1 yard, okay? And you fold it in half. Same process. They did a steel drop down here, so it looks small, but it is not. You make, because remember, this is not going to be starting here. It's going to be starting here. So this is plus size. Now, another thing you want to do before you cut it into a rectangle, you want to make sure that it stretches. You want to make sure that this thing goes like this. Okay, you want to make sure of that. So then that way you get this effect, the hugging effect, without the bagging or looking like it's a square or a piece of dress that isn't cut right. You know, so you want to, and then not just that, you want to make it a little bit smaller than you normally would, just by 2 inches or so. So I already did that with this because why? Because it's going to stretch about as big as it stretches. It's like, see, so it's going to give me that 2 inches when it stretches, and that 2 inches is what's going to make it sit on you like this. So if I put this around me right here, see this? See how it looks little, but it's not. Because then when I pull it like this, see how that touches? And it's going to touch all the way through. I just got booty. Real thick. No ass shots. I ain't mad at nobody, but I didn't have to pay for it because God knew I had other things to worry about in life. I appreciate that. So I got work to do. I don't have time to be down and beat up. And you know, but yeah, this goes like this. And it'll go all the way around. You know, once you make it. So this would be like a medium large. So if you're plus, like I said, a yard and a half if you're plus size. Yeah, this is a yard right here. Let's see what this is. A yard is 36 inches. So since a yard is 36 inches, so what we're gonna do is, you guys need this anyways. Oh yeah, see, a yard is 36 inches. That'd be from the neck to the end of the hand. That's 36 inches. So, yeah, that's how big that is. That would be a medium. So if you want to make a bigger one, what you want to do is you want to measure here. If you don't want to measure here, this is your smallest part, unless you got titties. Titties are pliable. They move around. This don't go nowhere. Oh no. And you have the cutest thing on the planet Earth, but you can't get into it. And you're like, oh, if I could just only get that one little, you know, if I could just get this and then get it over, oh my God, this would be so cute, where you just want to cut it, you know, put it on, then sew it back on, and have to cut it to get it off, you know, because in order you have to get to the hips. Okay, so now This is what you do. You want to measure around your hip area tight. Tight. Measure your hips. Tight. And my hip is a 48. So that is how big I want my dress to be. Yeah. I want my dress to stretch out to a 48. So that would be extra large. So let's see. This right here, which we already know is not a 48, but this stretches out to around the hip. Nothing on me, but on her, it's everything. So this would be the extra large. No, a large, a small shoe. But you know what? It's this fabric. That's really all it is. So we're not going to worry about it because not every fabric is elastane. You know, this right here, that don't really stretch that far. You know what I mean? But that fishnet that she has on, this right here, so you want to make sure your fabric is something like this. See this? Yeah. You want to make sure your fabric is something like that. You know what I mean? And see, it still fits her. See? And it still fits. So that's how you want that stretch on that fabric to be. You want it to be like rubber band. See? She's in that thing. So this is just a little harder stretch. So that's what would make this a small. Normally, this right here, a yard would be proper because it would make it, it would stretch a whole lot more. See, this don't stretch like that, dude. This is, put this together like this only gonna stretch. See, it don't stretch that far, so. And it barely stretches around her, and she got it. Like, she would be considered, you know, a slim thick, you know, and she got the little, and this how it fits in the back, but ain't that cute? Let's bring it closer. Let you guys see it closer. Isn't that adorable? And then with fishnet, with proper fishnet, you don't have to hem the bottom. See that? And this is that real good fishnet I bought from the fabric store. So it's not, see that? It's not cheap. You know, it don't cost too much. But you see how it did the little bagging around this here, when you pull it down, that goes away. See? And then it fits like a dress. Excuse me, sorry. Then it fits like a dress. When you pull that down, then it fits exactly how it's supposed to fit. And then this is the FOE that we have around it that we use here. As I'm giving you a thorough walkthrough of all this, okay? So now what I did was here, after I put the triangles on together, let me fix this. After I put the triangles on, I ran the trim here first, cut it. You know, you do this one last. You're gonna do this one last. This one right here, you're gonna do it last. The outer one last, this one first. See, and I trimmed it all the way across both triangles. You can also make a really cute bikini top like that too. Where you can do it just at the top right here and then run it at the bottom also. Run a trim at the bottom also. I'll show you guys how to do that too, because I do all that. Yeah, and so that's what we're gonna do. That's what this is gonna look like. You see, it's gonna be good and durable. Cute. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's get to it now. To it, what? So this dress just like we should right now. Okay. We're going to get to it here. And I'm going to show you, okay, now zigzag stitch is okay, right? But, you know, there's other things out there that's better than that. And my whole pet peeve is making something and the seam, you can see the seam, like it looks like the seam is busting open and you just did all that work, you know, and then when you pull it apart, it looks like the seam is just gonna, you can see all the threads on the inside. I hate that, you know, so I'm gonna show you guys how to sew without having that effect. And it's a simple stitch. It takes a little bit longer on your machine because you're not working on an industrial machine. This right here, which is a good one. You know what I mean? It's a really good machine. So, and they can take a tip and, you know, what you call it, and keep on licking, whatever. Okay, now, Let's see. Of course I got sunflower seeds up here. I'm a bird. I'm a bird. Okay, now, don't mind my little mess up here. This all serves a purpose. None of this is up here just to be up here. That's why I got this little table, not a big table. It's hanging. You can't put nothing up here like that. If it don't have, if you're not working on it, then it's not something. It's trash. Little ashtray. I got all types of stuff up here, but who cares? Life goes on. Now we are going to. Okay, first I'm going to. This was because I made some pants, and when I make clothing too, you know. So I'm gonna make the clothes for the store, and I made these pants, and they're so cute. See there, I made these for my store, and I like my bell bottoms real long or whatever. But this is what I'm gonna show you. This is what I'm gonna show you. The stitch that we're gonna use for this dress, it is a straight stitch. See. We're going to use a straight stitch. If you don't have a serger, this is what you want to use. You do not want to use a zigzag. You want to use the 3-dot straight stitch. So you're going to put your machine on the S1, which is blue, and then you're going to line it up with the blue lines. The blue, what you call it now, see, it stretches, it doesn't pop, right? Now watch this. When you go to the other side and you pull it apart, see that? Good and clean. Not that pulled up. I hate it when it looks, you know, see that? See? And I use turquoise thread. But yeah, look at that. And you don't have the spaces and the gaps and everything. So that's how we're going to do this dress, okay? So, and it's real easy because I'm going to show you guys the setting to it right now as we speak. And we're going to put this here. Now, the setting you want to use to get that thread is the S1 here. We're going to put it on S1. Okay. And then we're going to put it on the number 3 here. See this right here? Where the 3 blue and blue. You want it to match blue and blue. That's how you stay away from these because these are you're gonna have that gap in your seam, and I hate the gap. Like I need this dress right here and this dress, see? And that's with the straight stitch. How nice and neat that is. See that? Because I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. When you do that zigzag stitch and you that stitch. Now remember, in between, when that zigzag goes up and down, there's a space there, and that space causes when you open up the fabric, you'll see that thread holding it together, and I don't think it's pretty professional, especially if you have to sew with a sewing machine. So when I sew with a sewing machine, this is what I use. It's the S1 and the S3. We're gonna get into it right now. So I can show you guys exactly how this goes. Now, all right. We got the rectangle here. Now, if you have a serger, that's great. You know, go ahead and you're going to take the rectangle of fabric, but you want to make sure it's really stretchy fabric, as we already, you know, got into, whatever. And you're going to put your triangles at the end. This one right here, I use my serger, but my serger's timing is off, so I'm not using my serger today, which is a good thing because a lot of girls don't have one, and I get to show you guys the stitch, so I'm not worried about that serger. Everything happens for a reason, and I got a new one coming, so who cares? Yeah, so I'm happy about that. And now, I'm going to show you guys how to make a plus-size top. If you notice, I have 2 triangles here sewn together because that makes this, you know, some girls have wide areolas, and this right here will cover all of it. Every single part of it. See that? From here to here, it'll cover it. So that's if you want to use, I put the 2 together like that. So now I'm going to find the other. What did I do? Let me find, oh, here it goes. Here it goes, because we're going to do a fresh one right now. Okay. All right. Yeah, I got my seeds. Yeah, so we're going to do a fresh one right now. And what we're going to do is I have 2 triangles here, right? Then we're going to take the fabric right at the edge here. Because remember, you're going to sew this part closed like this. This is a real simple dress to make. It takes no thought. Here. And here. Now what we're going to do is take a triangle, lay it right here at the edge. This stops you from, give it like a little 1/2 inch from the edge. It stops you from centering it wrong. A lot of girls don't know how to center a dress right in the center if there's nothing there to guide them. So this is easy. Now, you're going to do the other side the same way. 1/2 inch. See that? Now you see how you have that 1/2 inch right there? You get ready to sew them together, you put these 2 together and sew right down the center. It's that easy. This is about as big as the foot. You can't go wrong because the foot will lead it all the way down because it's the same width as the sewing foot. That guy right there. So after you put it on, see? Even if you don't do the 1/2 inch, but I got a little 1/2 inch there. This looks like I doesn't. I don't, excuse me. Same thing here. You can just cut that off. And you're going to put them together right here. Straighten this out. Who cares if this is straight or not? Because you can literally, the sewing machine foot will guide you down. And then you can cut it when you're done. That's what we're getting ready to do. We're going to put these triangles on first. Okay, now here, what you want to do is pull your thread out always. You want to have a tail. And you always want to hold this tail. And the reason why you want to hold this tail is because so your fabric doesn't get beat down in here. You don't want your fabric beat down on accident. Then it gets stuck in here, and then who wants to go through that? And then you're going to think your whole life is over because you're going to think that your machine isn't acting right because your fabric just got snatched. It's traumatizing for a beginner. Hold on, y'all. Now, we're going to take the inside. The way you could tell the inside from the outside of the fabric is if you pull it, it rolls. So if it rolls like that, that is the inside of the fabric. This is the inside of the fabric. So what you want to do is you want to put the inside of the fabric facing down, because that basically would mean that the fabric would be inside out. If it's something like this, that's how you could tell. So you want to make sure that roll goes down because that's now you're working with the outside. And you want to take your triangle and put it face to face with the outside. See that? That's the outside right here. So the outside is facing the outside. If you're using fishnet, that's how you know. You want to pull it just like that. Pull it back your 1/2 inch. You don't have to start here. You can start right back here. No centering. This takes nothing. Literally takes nothing. Take this here. Hold it. Put this here. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Now, it takes nothing. Just hold it down here. Don't pull it. Just hold it. If it goes to 1/2 inch, whatever, and then let it go. Now first you're gonna let it go. I don't care about stuff like that because I usually cut it off, reverse it, bring it back, and let it go. And okay, nothing to it. Now what I'm doing is lining up the edge to this right here. That's what keeps me centered. And that's what you want to do. Figure out me and my sunflower seeds. I know I'm a bird. Figure out how wide you want this yourself. Then place the edge of your, this is what you want to use for a guide here on how to keep it straight. And now we're on there. Nice and neat. Now when you pull it open, look how pretty that is. See how pretty that is? Not just that, this right here usually, this will split like this, you know. But it's gorgeous like this. And if you want to, you can put a zigzag stitch here to keep this down if you want, you know, if that's your preference, but you don't have to. You know, you can just keep it like this. It's nice and clean. You pull it. There you pull it. It looks professional. Uh-oh, sorry. But you've seen it, so yes, quite sure. That's what you do. Now this here, you want to take this and run it all the way here to the end and let the fabric pull itself, and then no thread. That's what this is for. And you don't have to have thread hanging off your clothes after you make them. You can literally complete your whole outfit thread free. See that? And then you just go back here where thread starts, grab it, put it right here in the knife, and pull till the fabric is, see? And pretty. Now we're going to do it again. Same thing. Don't worry about what's going on. Don't worry about, if you have anything that's like this, just line up your stuff and that'll all be sewn off. So don't worry about that. This will straighten your stuff out. So don't worry about this being straight. You know, if you made a mistake of not having it straight, whatever, you know. Me and my sunflower seeds. I'm almost done with them. I'm gonna stop for 1 second so I can eat it. Bird. But yeah, you see how pretty that is? See how pretty that is? Look. Really nice and neat. That's gorgeous, huh? And that's why I said just don't use it as zigzag. But look how it looks on the inside. It's pretty. Zigzag is okay. I use it more for decorative stitching, but I don't use it on clothes. I have my experience. I don't like how it looks. I like that. Or do a small zigzag, but you're still gonna have that single little gap. Stay away. S1 and three dashes. S1 and my tension set on 4 and 4, and I have my needle over to the right. That's easy. So now we're ready to go. Let's do the other side. Here in the building. Now we're going to do it again. And the same thing. You can look at it now and tell which side is the inside now. See, you can just look at it now like, okay, that's where I want to put my triangle. So you want to do the same thing here. Like I said, don't worry about this, just line it up. Don't worry about this. Another trick to this right here is if you count. See, count, and then when you count, you'll see what line is worth even sewing on to make it straight, right? So this line right here is no good because there's no other dots to go with it. So you want to find the line that has continuous dots all the way down the item. And that's the dots, that's the line you want to follow. So I'm going to go right here because that one is where the dots are that go all the way down, and you want to follow those dots, and then it'll straighten out your fabric just like you. Same thing with any pattern, anything like that. You want to find the center of that pattern or whatever, and that's where you want to do what you do. Now, where is my other triangle? You know, I'm always putting something somewhere. Here it goes. Right here. So now we're going to do the same thing. Then I'm going to show you guys how to do this hem that I talk about all the time, that you don't need all the extra stuff for. You can finish this dress without trim. Well, except for at the top. You're going to need trim. So now we got it here. I'm going to pull this over just a little bit. And line it up. So you put it right there on the line that I'm going to, right? And then put that right. Put this line up under the foot. Bow. So when you go down, it'll line it up and make it straight. And then you can cut off any excess. You can cut all that off all the way to here. All the way to the bikini top. And then you're going to follow the dots all the way across the item. That's if you're using fishnet. If you're not using fishnet, then you have no problem. Hold the tail. I'm going to reverse stitch here. And I'm going to let it go. And we're just going to hold it. You got to be a line. Just hold it. This side. Just don't pull it. Whatever you do, just don't pull. And then when you see something like this, you just put this back in its place. Right here. And line it back up. There you go. Pull it back. Take it out. And like I said earlier, put it right here on the side here, up here. I'm going to take it and I'm going to pull it all the way through and take the thread and then let the knife cleans it up well. See how the knife does it? Cleans it up well, except for at the beginning you got to do that. So now what you do is you just cut right here all the way down the fabric. Blah, 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 blah. Or you don't have to. But when you get to the back right here, you're going to trim it anyways. Because remember, this is going to go up like this. But yeah, you gotta cut this one. Yes. Or you can just hem it because it looked like it hemmed itself already. So when I folded that up, it hemmed it. But why do that when you just cut it? It's going to be cut. And then we're going to put the trim on it. So now what we're going to do next is, the hem at the bottom. So you guys don't have to use trim. So what you're going to do is, you already know what way this thing goes. So you're going to take the fabric, fold it one time over, like this, about an inch. Then you want to fold it one time. Okay, I'm going to do it on this side anyways, because I got to put it up under the machine too at the same time. So I want to make sure that I'm able to put it up under the machine. So the way you want to do it is to where it starts here and it goes right up under the machine. Now you're going to fold it one time like this, right? Then you're going to fold it one time back, like this. See that? So I'm going to do it again. I folded it one time. I'm going to do it again. Fold it one time. And it's going to line itself all the way down. We ain't going to worry about down here right now. It's not nothing to worry about unless you need pins. But if you follow me, you won't need pins. One time fold it. Then take it again. And fold it right there where that end is. Fold it and make sure that's brought up. And that creates this. It's going to create this when you open it. See that? So we're going to do it one more time. Here you go. Here it is. You're ready to put it on the sewing. We're going to put it right here next to the sewing machine. Here it is. Ready to get put right on. You can take it literally if you need help folding it. Okay? Put it right here on the sewing machine. Put your finger here. Fold that over. Right? Press that down. Take this whole piece right here. Fold this back. Fold this back. Now, what you're going to do is, you're going to put this under here. Right here. Just stick it up under there, just like that. Now, you're going to take your finger, you're going to take this and just put this edge right here to where the fold is. The fold should go automatic, see that? And then you pull it just a little bit, and then you should be able to do this all the way down, but you want to make sure that it's even. So I'm going to put you guys right here with me. Right here. Right, and I'm going to bring you lower so you guys can really see what's going on here. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm lining it up. So I have my fold. See, it's already folded here. It's going to fold and just let that naturally drop into it, because this is your guide. So I'm going to hit this. Let me get up in here. I'm going to hit this to start it, right? But you want to pull it over just a little bit more, because you want to see, you want the very edge to be right here where the plastic is, and not that far into the plastic though, because you don't want to take most of the trim away. So you want the edge to be like in between the plastic and the metal, but over here in the center, like, and then right here you want the needle to be the same way. See how the needle is right here, and the what you call it's right here, but it's almost like no needle there. So you're going to hit this, you're going to hit it, and take that thread and guide it. Now you're going to put it right back. Now you're going to use this as a complete guide. Now you're going to use this right here as a complete guide. So in the process, see how you can't go wrong? When you pull this up like this and separate, it's technically not separating, because the machine already has it locked down. So you just take it again and hold it, and see how that stays like this? And you hold this out here. See how you got that trim in there? And then you just bring it down See how that fold just folds up naturally? See that? Folds naturally, and it keeps the guide because that's what's locked down up here. So that's what you want to do. You want to make sure. See, don't worry about that. There's a little bit of unevenness in here, but that, who cares? It should still line itself up. Don't worry about them edges. You just want to worry about the size of your trim. This right here you cut off when you're done. Who cares? Now make sure this stays here in that plastic and hit it. And don't pull. Whatever you do, do not pull. You are just a guide. Because if you pull, it'll take you longer to do it because the machine has its own pace that it pulls at this way. It feeds at. So if you're pulling it, the machine is actually trying to go this way and you're pulling this way. Next thing you know, your machine will start coming towards you like this, you know, and you'll start sewing slower without even realize it because you're actually pulling it away while the machine is trying to go this way. So you just want to hold it, but you want to hold it just to where it's straight. So see, look, just to where it's relaxed and straight out, and then you want to run it. And see how it naturally feeds. See, and then look at it already. See how it's already ready? You just line it up to where it's supposed to be. So if your item wasn't straight at the bottom, this will actually, see how it's straightening it out? See how it leaves out this access here that's all uneven? The foot does that. And the trim will do it itself too. And then you just take it all the way down. I'm going to back you up so you can see. So you can take it all the way down to the very bottom. See how that starts to do it by itself? Hold it again. All the way down, and you can hold it all the way to the bottom. Just like that. Pick this piece up right here. Lay this down up on the machine so that way you keep an eye on it, on what it's doing. No work. It's absolutely no work. It's more intimidating. It's more, it looks more intimidating than what it is. Sewing is nothing. Once again, we're going to take this up here. We're going to run it all the way back like this, and then just pull it thread off, and then now you got a good clean. Now what you're going to do is, see how that access right here? You're going to cut the access off. So if you have a serger, the serger will actually remove this as you sew it. But you see how nice and clean that looks? You can't see it. It's nice and clean, but we're going to lay it out here and see the access will automatically come right there. So you don't have to do no hard work looking for it. The shit's already, it's already here. So you just cut up. And you shouldn't cut no trim, you shouldn't cut no loop, none of that. And if you really wanted to, do it like a serger. This right here, you can literally cut all the way to the thread. And watch what this does. Cut it all the way down to the thread. It'll be just like a serger stitch. So we're going to pull it, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut all of this like this. Watch. See, you're cutting off all the loop and everything right here where the access is. You can tell because they sit on top of each other. We haven't opened the trim up yet, so follow what I'm doing, please, because the trim is actually right here. So when you open this up, it's right here. Okay? So what you want to do is just follow what I'm doing, and you want to make sure that that big loop, that one big loop is up under you, just like that. And it's easy just to go in the back of it, and we're going to cut everything else right off. There you go. And we got some thread here. We already know what to do with it. Here, pull it. It's done. Take that off. Now, we are going to fold it over, and you're going to pull all this down. You're going to pull it down. And this is the bottom of the dress that we just hemmed. And you're going to pull it down. There, I didn't have to do it too much. And so now this is the bottom of the dress. There goes the bottom. And we put the 2 triangles on it. Everything looks nice and neatly manufactured. Operation Get Money. Now, we're going to fold it in half. See how nice and pretty that looks? And we did it with a stretch stitch. We're doing it with the S1 and the S1. It's so simple. Stay away from zigzag, stay away from fancy, stay away from everything here. This machine is really good with the S1, which is the straight stitch, and the S1 here. It's really good with it because of the fact that it's faster on the load. And you don't get the seams. You know, like, you see, if you would have did this with a zig, see I did that with a straight stitch. If you would have did this with a zigzag stitch, when you pull this apart like this, you'll be able to see every single thread in there if you would have did what I just showed you to do with the straight stitch. So you don't want to use a zigzag stitch. You want to use a straight stitch. And see, now you can barely even see the straight stitch. It disappears. So if you don't have a serger, that straight stitch is essential for you. And that way you can have professional clothing and nobody can question your work. Nobody say, them clothes is raggedy. No, they're not. No, they're not. Not if I showed you, they're not. And I ain't mad at nobody. I don't compete with no one, so I'm only saying that in the sense of, like, if I showed you, then clothes are not raggedy. Because I don't sell raggedy clothing. So, and that's not how I teach. I'm going to show you the best way possible. Because I love clothes. I make this dress right here. I make my own clothes. You know, I do more than just lingerie, but I love lingerie. So, there we go. So now what we're going to do is the grand finale, but it's not really a grand finale. Now we're going to take the 2 triangles, fold them in half. Fold it in half. Put this together right here. Put triangles together. That's simple. And now what we're going to do is we're going to sew. And the only reason why I'm sewing with this going up, or you can open it up like this if you want. You can open it up and sew it down, or you can close it and sew it down, or you can fold it up and sew it down. It all depends on your preference, because remember, we're getting ready to trim. So here, this looks pretty long, so you'll probably want to sew that down. And same thing here, looks pretty long, so you probably want to sew that down also. So when you run the machine over it, we're going to sew right in between here. We're going to take it here, we're just going to run it all the way down. And of course, I'm going to bring you guys over here. I'm not going to leave you over there. I'm going to put you right here so you can see everything that's going on. So you know what to do. So, there we go. Right up on this Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the triangle. Just going to take your dress, take your triangle. Don't worry about the edges. Like I say, don't worry about nothing being even. No one can cut a super straight line like that, especially when you just begin. So don't do yourself like that, because girls out there selling trash and they really getting money for it. And what I mean by trash is just like not really putting no effort into nothing, you know, just selling it. So don't compete, you know, with no one. That's my key to doing this. I don't compete with anybody. Why? Because you don't know no one's skills, you know, and what they're really doing anywhere. So who cares about what anybody else is doing? Now, this right here, lift your needle up, place it right up under there. You want to line this right with this. Now, when you line this with this, you don't necessarily want to keep it straight, because you don't know if your fabric is cut straight. So you just want to line it with this and then go wherever it guides, wherever the edge of this foot guides you, okay? But you want to keep this straight. You know what I mean? Because if your fabric is not straight, I'm going to show you right now. First, you're going to put this down, back stitch a little bit, and then forward stitch. We got some. They want to give me the smoke. Yeah. Now what you're going to do is try to line your fabric up as best as you can. If your fabric isn't absolutely straight, yeah, something goes over it, don't worry about it. That's what I'm saying. Don't worry about rough edges. You can always cut them off later. With the straight stitch, you could cut them all the way down to the stitch, and nobody would ever even know that that was there. And I'm going to show you how to do that in 2 seconds. I'm going to show you guys how to sit back and just enjoy the show type stuff like this, okay? Literally. So if you notice, I'm just sitting here, I just hold this. No pulling, no nothing, no needles, no pins, just hold this together. These two right here, you can't go wrong. It's going to automatically come here. So just hold this. It's not nothing stressful, no extra, nothing. Just hold it. Just hold it and let it rest. The reason why you don't have to pull it is because this foot has pressure, see? Up and, you hear that? That means it's hammering, it's holding it down so tight. You know, there's pounds behind that right there. Hear that? Look. You hear that? So just imagine how hard this fabric is being held. So when you stretch it, it's actually pulling from this. And then you got a needle in it. You're not going to win. Just don't do it. Hold this lightly. Let it just guide it. Just guide it towards completion. And it's done. Thread, pull, done. And you finished it just that fast. Now what we're going to do is, now we're going to cut any access. See, you already can't see where the thread is because we use the triple thread, the triple straight stitch. We use the S1 and the blue thread, the blue dash, whatever. Now you're going to cut right at it, but not on it. You're just right next to that straight stitch is where you're going to cut. And this way you can outsell every girl in the dressing room. Because your clothes are better, well made, and everyone loves something well made. See that? I just cut it all the way up, and you can't even see the stitch. And then we're just going to do the same thing here. Keep cutting, and you can't even see the stitch, but it's there. And it's not in jeopardy, because I double stitch each end, and you're not cutting on it. And it's built to hold this. Any access, just now, what I do next is when I pull it up and see, look at that. It's like having a surgery and you don't have one. Then we got the 2 triangles here. And to loosen that up, you just pull it. And it's not, see, no popping, no ripping, no tearing, anything. And that just straighten it out. Real close with the edge. You can tell this fabric is a little stiff. I'm going to finish this one right here. We're going to trim both of these at the same time. So we're going to do the folded hem again. I want some sunflower seeds. And this is what I do. I eat my sunflower seeds and break my aloe vera. This is what I do. Yes. I usually eat them outside though, but I'm a nibbler. This right here is the real me. Now, what we can do is, we'll call it that hem again. Fold it back, fold it forward, and so. Right at the edge. Right here. So we're going to do it again. Fold it back. Back. And then forward. And then let it down. Same process. Sorry. I'm gonna lighten the back thing on. Okay, now and run it.
I had to tell my oldest son, don't you start packing up that spaceship, get talking to them boys on live. I'm on live right now.
Easy. Right?
That was easy. Now, same process. Cut the little part off. I'm a parrot. Look at my view. Even here, the green backdrop. We're gonna cut it again. Here. And accidentally cut a loop. So we just take this and put it under the machine. That'll be easy. And right again. Line it up with that thread. Come on. Look at that one. My bottom. Gotta make a bottom.